reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it.
I know what y'all picked about the polls, but when the queen speaks, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all that matters to me.
The entire music industry was completely turned upside down by Chloe Bailey, and she's not holding anything back this time. Chloe is now speaking out after years of silence and conjecture, and her portrayal of Beyoncé's empire is unexpected. Chloe has been ensnared in an exploitative deal under Beyoncé's label, according to many insider claims. And you know, this agreement is purportedly so poor that, in comparison to the public perception, she is allegedly making almost nothing. However, Chloe's hints about why her career never quite took off as everyone had anticipated are what really upset people. According to Warden Street, it is entirely related to her refusal to sell her soul, and has nothing to do with her skill or timing. This is where things get very heated because, despite Chloe's purported refusal to play ball, her sister Halle appears to have taken an entirely different path. According to insiders, Halle's ascent hasn't been natural at all. Rather, she has been abiding by the unwritten norms that Chloe disregarded. Her connection with DDG was apparently one of those purported regulations. According to rumors, the whole romance was created as a public relations ploy to increase awareness and change Halle's reputation. The tea Chloe is leaking will make us all shudder, so it appears that she has finally finished keeping salad. Now let's get started. Since Chloe has been subjected to extremely unfair treatment in her professional life, it was only a matter of time until she spoke up. She undoubtedly opened up a lot of doors for her after signing with Beyoncé because, as you are all aware, Beyoncé has influence in the business. However, the deal she and Halle signed with Beyoncé is worse than you can imagine, so based on what we now know, that probably didn't do much good. We must first discuss the original contract before we can even discuss the dubious aspects of the following secret contracts. Because fans are now accusing Beyoncé of being exploitative. You see, the deal she first signed with Chloe and Halle was only worth roughly $1 million. Before you all start talking about how much money that is, keep in mind that the $1 million was for 6 albums, or about $166,000 each record. And when you divide that evenly, each person only receives $83,000, which isn't much money for a town like Hollywood. When it came to Chloe and Halle, Beyoncé certainly didn't do a good job of showing up for someone who says she cares about supporting Black women in music. If you thought that was bad, it got worse because there are rumors that she purposefully hindered their careers, in addition to that awful contract. To be fair, though, we can't be certain if Beyoncé truly made an effort to prevent them from progressing, or if she is simply preoccupied with her own career and doesn't have time for the girls. However, it's evident that Parkwood isn't doing enough to advance them. But many believe that Beyoncé and Parkwood are intentionally doing this, because this is not the first time that Chloe and Halle have been treated in this manner. Fans are beginning to question whether Chloe, like other parkour artists like Sophie Beam and Ingrid Burley, is being subtly marginalized as her career appears to be slowing down. Parkwood informed Sophie that she wasn't ready before she could truly take off. Sophie arrived with a lot of buzz. She was bound by a 2-year developmental contract. By the end, they had abandoned her without even allowing her to let go of anything. Then there's Ingrid, who with Parkwood actually completed an entire album but never released it. They kept it until her contract expired, at which point the project simply vanished. People are now attentively observing Chloe's circumstances, wondering if she is experiencing the same thing as a result of her refusal to comply with the system. Only 2 acts, Beyoncé and the Carters, have truly thrived under the label when you look at Parkwood as a whole. Furthermore, the only artist Beyoncé has ever really enhanced herself is herself, as the Carters are essentially just Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Because of this, a lot of fans are beginning to believe that Chloe's circumstances don't make sense. Because there have been rumors circulating around for some time now that Beyoncé may not be doing anything to assist her. Like, not at all. Some even believe that she is subtly undermining her career. All of this is purportedly due to Chloe's refusal to sign a new contract that would have required her to sell her soul to the industry. Since Beyoncé hasn't exactly been subtle about it, fans have been suspicious about this for a while. Consider this as an illustration. Chloe requested fans to vote on which single she should release on Twitter just before the release of her debut album, for the evening or as a surprise. The outcomes demonstrate what her fans desired for the evening. However, fans were incensed when Chloe completely changed her mind and unleashed a surprise instead. And even though it wasn't what her fans desired, Chloe said in this live session that I'm going to show you that Beyonce made her drop a surprise.
I know what y'all picked about the polls, but when the queen speaks, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all that matters to me.
Many fans now believe that Beyonce has been keeping Chloe around for some time, all due to Chloe's refusal to sell her soul or participate in the game. And that's what people are saying on the internet. The entire thing is beginning to appear even more suspect now that people are making the connections. Chloe went live to spill all the tea, and it appears that she is weary of being ignored. Chloe discussed how difficult it may be to succeed in Hollywood unless you're prepared to make sacrifices. Although she didn't specifically name anyone, it was obvious from the manner she spoke that she was deliberately discussing certain members of the industry. She added that she could identify with many of Sammy's challenges in juggling talent, faith, and social pressure in the film Sinners. Additionally, Chloe acknowledged that the narrative felt extremely personal to her, and fans immediately perceived it as a covert behind-the-scenes jab at Beyonce. The subtext is screaming, so pay attention to what she said.
So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it.
Beyonce's name is typically at the top of the list that comes up whenever people start talking about how dark or twisted the industry can be. So Chloe didn't technically mention her by name, but everyone understood precisely who she was referring to. However, there have been rumors about Beyonce and Jay-Z for years, with some alleging they made sacrifices in order to succeed. You see, some claim it's the actual thing, while others think it's a conspiracy. However, their names are always brought up when discussing the Illuminati, entertainment, and Lee's dubious private activities. Therefore, Chloe didn't need to mention names when she went live, and said that she wouldn't sell her soul. Fans immediately made the connection. Halle's name is now being mentioned in that conversation as well, and not in a good way. Many admirers believe that she may have done what Chloe refused to do. Rumor has it that Halle was open to playing ball, and that's what people think caused Chloe and Halle to quietly break up. Additionally, there was a deeper division based on what each sister was ready to accomplish to advance in the profession, rather than just a casual decision to seek independent careers. This is where things start to become even more suspicious. Halle's career has flourished since he went solo. A breakthrough performance in The Little Mermaid, big films, red carpet events, and even a solo Grammy nomination. She's constantly booked, though. As of the last time we heard, she was living the good life while filming in Italy. However, rumors circulate that Halle's relationship with DDG was a condition of her Parkwood contract, making the situation even more complicated. You know, the one where she supposedly sold her soul for riches and fame? You are aware that DDG allegedly used Halle as a come-up, don't you? As it happens, the opposite was true. The machine behind Halle allegedly knew that DDG had the social media influence to force Helen into the mainstream, and it was successful. Rumor has it that DDG dumped Halle after learning about his exploitation. You are also aware of what transpired during that pandemonium. You can view the most recent videos. In any case, if Halle was sold out, it has been successful for her thus far. However, Chloe's situation is entirely different. Despite her talent, her rollout has been difficult. Simply put, the album failed. People are beginning to see a pattern, as the singles simply didn't perform. She's working hard, but the industry isn't rewarding her. It's a complete disaster. To be honest, it's amazing that Chloe hasn't said anything for so long. By now, it feels more like a distinct pattern and less like poor luck. She has the drive, the talent, and the appearance, but for some reason, nothing is clicking. It's clear that she understands why she's speaking up now. Halle's career is flourishing in the meantime. She is consistently booked, well-received, and obviously safe. Fans are beginning to question whether this is because she was prepared to go against Chloe's wishes. Perhaps this is why their relationship no longer feels the same. Perhaps this explains why Khloe always seems to be fighting for attention while Halle is given the limelight. But at the end of the day, Chloe Bailey simply lifted the curtain on a business that the majority of us only see from the outside. And what she disclosed is undoubtedly startling. Opportunities are restricted, secret contracts exist, and playing the game is valued more than skill. Chloe explained everything. Helle's career was booming in the meantime, but rumor has it that Chloe refused to pay the amount. Fans are now faced with a harsh reality. One sister was made to struggle fiercely for every chance, while the other sister seemed to be given the limelight. Furthermore, Chloe is no longer merely speaking. She is revealing the brutal reality that lies beneath the glamour and glitter. She obviously understands why her ascent came to a standstill. However, the tea is really hot. The stakes have never been higher, and Chloe's voice may be the reason why everyone is reconsidering Beyoncé's empire and the true costs of thriving in it. Warmth. Warmth.